Okay, everybody, welcome to the May 2021 Missouri Evergreen Cataloging meeting. We have a great meeting today because, first of all, I have some very good and exciting news. I try to go over cataloging committee news first, and the committee's got some great news that the Missouri State Library has approved ARPA funds, which is the American Rescue Plan Act funds, to hire a full-time Missouri Evergreen cataloger for the next year. So the Missouri State Library is paying for Missouri Evergreen to have a dedicated cataloger for the next year. This person will be focusing on several things, which are kind of still to be ironed out, but we all know that we can keep them busy. So projects like the cataloging certification, training sessions and library migrations, and then just general cataloging projects will be a focus for this position. And then after that year, Missouri Evergreen is going to be able to keep this person, maybe this person, or maybe hire someone else part-time from then on out. But for this first year, we will have a full-time person that is just a dedicated cataloger to Missouri Evergreen. So that is very exciting news and something that Missouri, the Evergreen board has been working on for quite a while. And we're very excited for that news. So in other committee news, the committee members have been busy evaluating the next two migrating libraries catalogs, James Memorial and Henry County. We have a rubric in place that helps us determine issues for these incoming libraries catalogs that would cause problems with their bib records merging into the Missouri Evergreen catalog and onto our existing bib records. So we're really hoping that doing this will help with issues we've had with past migrating libraries with bib records coming in and not merging, and then we have a duplication problem. So while this has been something that the cataloging committee has always wanted to do, and we have recently made it so that we will be doing this for all migrating libraries, thanks to Nate at Trails, who, by the way, is our next chairperson for the committee. He made the rubric for us to go along with to assess these libraries catalogs. So hopefully this will help with migrating libraries, guys. So we will have a much better situation with our catalog when we get new libraries in, because we want to be excited about new libraries joining us, but as catalogers, sometimes we know that it can be a problem. So hopefully this will make things smoother. In the last month, we've had a committee member go to Crawford County Library and give in-person training, and we're having a virtual training session for Seymour County this week. So we're trying to get people who need some training, the training that they are requesting. And speaking of training, the Missouri Evergreen Cataloging Training Manual is up now on the website. This is a basics cataloging course that is not Evergreen specific. This is not Missouri Evergreen specific. This is teaching general cataloging. On the Missouri Evergreen YouTube channel, several cataloging tutorials have been uploaded that are Missouri Evergreen specific. And as far as documentation for Missouri Evergreen specific tasks, we do have a best practices manual that will be coming out hopefully in the next couple months. So the cataloging committee, we've all got projects that we're working on, and we're trying to get those out because hopefully they'll be really helpful to all you catalogers. Let's see. Just a reminder that in 2 weeks, the International Online Evergreen Conference starts on May 24th. The 24th is pre-conferences, and then the conference goes from the 25th to the 27th. While I hope some of you can attend the conferences live, because the dynamic is always better when you're there live, the sessions will all be recorded, and loaded onto the Evergreen YouTube channel, not the Missouri Evergreen YouTube channel, the Evergreen YouTube channel, which all of this stuff will be linked in the notes in the coming week. So I do assume that there will be quite a delay in getting those sessions up. Kind of for the people that have paid to go, you know, everybody else has to wait a while. So, but the conference itself is always great, and it is one conference where cataloging is one of the stars. There are so many cataloging presentations, and if you can go, I would really encourage it, but those will be recorded sometime in the future. All right, so I'm sure what we've all been waiting for and talking about and thinking about living the last few weeks is the Evergreen upgrade to 3.6.3. I know we're all kind of still in this transition period and getting used to the upgrade to our ILS. It will take some getting used to. We're all still getting used to it. We've had a couple conversations over on the listserv. Thanks to everyone who is participating in those. We're trying to have some constructive criticism of what we've moved to, and there are several things that a lot of us like, but we have had two main complaints emerge from this upgrade to the Angular catalog, and I know I've said Angular catalog before, and I will continue to say it, but Angular is just the coding word for the change. It's what it looks like now. That's the Angular format. So it's the new way that it looks. So both of these complaints have Launchpad bugs that, again, I will link to in the notes. The more, and again, putting heat on a bug is something that we talk about in the listserv all the time as well. The more heat that is put on a bug, the more the developers will know that these issues are large enough for them to kind of look at and address. And you do have to have a Launchpad account to do that. You know, you just sign up like any website and to be able to put a heat on it, and you don't have to do anything else in Launchpad. It can be it's kind of confusing and blah blah blah, but we kind of do the work for you because we say, here's a bug, here's the number, here's the link to it. All you have to do is press this button, and then that will really help everybody in the Evergreen community, not just Missouri Evergreen. So I do encourage you all to make those Launchpad accounts just so you can simply put heat on it. So those two big ones that us as catalogers, we don't like is the call number and holding information not showing up in the search results screen. Honestly, I think this was just a huge oversight for those of us that were on the ground floor helping with this new Angular catalog. I myself was in many of these meetings, the cataloging working group for the bigger Evergreen community. We were in on the ground floor with the coder who made all of this. We saw it several times and had lots of great feedback, but this is just something that we didn't notice, honestly. And it is a major issue, not just for catalogers, but I bet for circulation people as well. So it already has quite a bit of heat on it. I do kind of assume that this will be addressed sooner rather than later. So I have hope for this one. Again, I will link the Launchpad bug in our notes. The other one that has kind of been kind of a bummer is the Exclude electronic resources checkbox. We say that it's not sticky. That's what we call it. So when you go to your cataloging preferences there, it's like a drop-down box, not a drop-down box, but it brings you, it's a whole menu that comes down, your whole screen comes down. And then you check that box. And so two things kind of happen. One thing, you have to check that box every search. And two, that box kind of looks like it disappears. It kind of looks like your search didn't really happen, but you click the checkbox, you do your search, and your search did actually run with those electronic resources being excluded. It doesn't show you that it did that anywhere. That checkbox isn't there. Checks that said, that says it was, that was a search format that wasn't searched or anything like that. But in your results, from what I've seen so far, those electronic resources were excluded. So, and then again, it's not sticky. So every single search that you have to do, you have to hit that button. So that's no good. We don't like that. So hopefully that will be addressed soon. Believe it or not, again, I told you that the cataloging working group, we were in on the ground floor on this. The developer of the Angular catalog, he didn't even think that exclude electronic resources was an option that anybody used, and it really didn't even need to be there at all. And of course, we told him otherwise, that yes, this was something that we used a lot. And that's why, again, being part of the bigger Evergreen community is so awesome. The developer, he's not a cataloger, he doesn't know, but he certainly respected and listened to the input that we all had. And pretty much everything that we asked him to change, if it was possible for him to change, he did. So that's the great thing about open source software. We can all kind of be part of changing it. So these two bugs, hopefully they're kind of my top two. Please, if you have something that specifically that you is really bugging you in your workflow or something, go ahead and email the listserv, and we can all talk about it, and we can see if there's a workaround in the time being until maybe it gets fixed, or if maybe even like me, I've asked about transferring like 2 or 3 times, and I still, for some reason, can't seem to get it right. So Nate is going to be going over that later in our meeting. So, somebody might be able to tell you how to do it. So everybody, it's great for us to be talking on the listserv. Another issue that I did want to mention really quickly, I know a lot of people don't use batch upload, but for those of us that do, I just wanted to quickly mention that if you upload and import, these are batch load records. So you have a big load of records. We're not talking about Z39 where you do one at a time. We're batch importing records. If you upload and import in 2 separate tasks, you need to fill out the template all over again when you go back to import after you upload it. Again, there's a Launchpad bug for this that I will link in the notes. So if you have any questions about that, or any questions about maybe batch loading or something like that, just give one of us a email or a question, and we'll help you out with that. We're running right through this again. So like I mentioned, Nate is going to show us how to transfer. We try to go over some kind of cataloging task every month, and this month I asked Nate to do this because I'm kind of lost. So Nate is going to ask me to share his screen, I hope.
I tried, and it says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Well, how dare she? Let's see. Advanced. No. Bear with me for a second, guys. Let me see what I can do here. Anybody with more Zoom experience than me know what I'm supposed to do? Make host. Do you want change the host to Nate? Yes. All right.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Can y'all see the screen as well?
Yep, looks good.
Okie dokie. So like Kate mentioned, I'm going to try and show how we can transfer items from one record to another, or even just from one call number to another. So I'm currently on a record for Better Than the Movies, and I'm on the Holdings View tab, and I have it narrowed down to just my library system. And you can see here I have 2 items for Concordia and 2 items for Holden. I did something goofy apparently when I ordered these, so we can use the extra copies. But first I wanted to show one, how you can move a single item to a different bib record, and then I'll show you how you can move multiple holdings that are, as long as they're on the same location or on the same library. So first of all, I will just select one of, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to go to the other bib record where I want the items to be moved. So I'm going to go move, I have another one pulled open for the music of bees. And I'm going to say I want to select this. This is our Holden branch. And I'm going to say under the Actions tab, go down to mark library / call number as transfer destination. And so that should be kind of saved within Evergreen's memory to move it to this location. Then I will go over to the original record where that item is located. I'll select this extra copy from Concordia.
Nate, so I don't need to refresh this screen?
From my experience, no.
Oh.
Yeah, so I am selecting the copy I want to move by checking that checkbox and going under the Actions menu. And I'm going to transfer items to marked destination. Again, I only marked the item. I didn't check the box for the call number. I am just checking the box just for that item and going down to transfer items to marked destination.
So that specific barcode.
Yes, that specific barcode.
Okay.
So you'll see that one's gone from my list. So if I go here, I do need to refresh the page for, oh, I keep clicking on the tab and it's not going. I'll refresh the page on the record where it should have moved to. If I scroll down, there it is, Holden. I thought it didn't work. But no, there it is on the Holden location. So that is how you can move the one. And I'm going to go ahead and you can kind of do the same with multiple items. So perhaps I'm on this record and both of these Holden items should have been going to our Lexington branch. To move multiple items, I would check the box where I want things to be moved.
Okay, all right.
And I would
Have a good day. Good to see you. Bye.
Mark library / call number as transfer destination. And then I could select the call number for that item, which encompasses both of those items. And under the menu there, I would then select transfer holdings to mark destination rather than transfer items. So holdings should encompass everything under that call number, where items would be for a specific barcode. And so if I were to transfer holdings, they were then moved from our Holden branch to our Lexington branch.
Okay,
so that same
question, Nate. So
yes.
Say I had 4 under your Concordia branch, only 2 of them I wanted to move to a different branch. So I can do 2 at a time and still select items, and those other 2 would be left?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and just make this all super goofy. I'm going to transfer the holdings from this to... So now I have 3 on my Lexington branch. I'm going to say I just want 2 of them going to Concordia. So I'm going to mark Concordia as where's it at? Mark library / call number transfer destination. And then I'm going to take these 2 items and then I'm going to go down and say transfer items to marked destination. And then 2 items should, it only did 1. That's a good question, Kate. You might have to do it one by one then, which is goofy, but.
Okay. Still, you've made it seem easier than what I've been doing, so.
Well, on the first day, I couldn't do anything at all. I went to one of my other staff members and they had no issue. So I don't know what had changed, if I was selecting the call number rather than the items. I think that's always been a factor in 3.6, is that I feel like you have to make sure that you're selecting the item and not just the call number, if you're wanting to move just a single item. But,
okay. Anybody have any questions for Nate? He made that seem way easier than what I've been doing, so I'm really looking forward to trying it myself. Thank you, Nate.
Yep, no problem.
Okay. Oh, I'm not ending the meeting. Let's see what I'm doing here. All right. So before I just have a couple more things. Does anybody have any questions? Anything they want to discuss or specific questions they need to ask? Anything they want to say about the upgrade or anything like that? Let me check the chat. Okay, Karina says that she misses the electronic resources checkbox. Yeah, hopefully those things that are kind of annoying to us will get fixed. Seems like we had a pretty quick meeting again this month. I do have kind of a shout out time. There's so we have a lot of emails that are going out for items to be checked on and fixed. And I wanted to take the time to recognize a few libraries that are kind of always on top of getting their things taken care of. These shout outs have come to me from different people, so it's not just me. So people really appreciate when you guys address the problems and help us kind of fix our catalog. So drum roll, special thanks to Letha at Putnam and Darcy at Carthage, Karina at Carrollton, Kate at Salem, Jordan at Keller, Abby at Little Dixie, Jeannie at Bollinger, and the Wright County catalogers. So it is such a big help to everybody when we send these emails out and people get their stuff fixed. And if you get these emails and you're like, what the heck, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, just let us know. We're here to help you. Because I know sometimes I let these problems kind of backlog up and 2 weeks later I'll be like, oh, I have 6 things that I need to look back on and fix. So if you need a refresher on how to do anything, don't be like me. Don't let it sit for 2 weeks. Everybody, let's try to get stuff fixed. And because it's such a big help when everybody joins together and fixes our catalog. So Retta at Livingston asks, do we have a time frame for catalogers being certified? So we do still plan on having that by the end of the year. Like I mentioned, we have a cataloger that is going to be employed for Missouri Evergreen. This is a project that we have decided that maybe they can do. We have kind of started it a little bit. So, but nobody needs to worry that they're going to get dinged or anything for not being certified yet. I'm glad that everybody's, I'll put it a nice way, looking forward to the training for being certified. So we're still shooting for, we were shooting for the end of the summer. I'm going to say fall time. Worst case scenario, it'll be by the end of the year, but it is something that we are definitely moving towards, and it will be on the top of the priority list for our new cataloger. So any more questions? And if anybody feels like they need some training refreshers or anything like that, reach out and we'll see what we can do for you. And again, those new resources are on the website and on the YouTube channel. Maybe something there can help you. And just, always feel free to ask us any questions. Any more questions? Will they be recorded if some of us are on vacation at that time? We don't know exactly how it's going to go. We don't know. We will definitely be working, so you will be able to take the certification, whether it's in person, whether it's virtual. That stuff isn't set in stone yet. We would prefer to have some kind of trainings in person. I mean, I feel like that always kind of goes better. But we all know how the world is right now. We don't know exactly how it's going to go. But don't be afraid that if you're on vacation, or something like that, you're going to miss it, because we will be sure that everyone gets their certification. It's important to us. So we will work around schedules and that kind of thing. We might do something regionally, we might do individually, we might do, I don't know yet. And that's why this project is going to be something that someone who doesn't have another job gets to do. Because the committee, you know, we all are kind of doing this when we have a second. So this is kind of a big deal. So this is the first project that we're going to have this cataloger prioritized so that we can get that out for everybody. Any more questions or comments? So our next meeting is June 14th. Again, it's the second Monday of the month at 11 o'clock in the morning. It will be my last meeting as the cataloging chair. Don't forget that everybody needs to attend a meeting at least once a quarter. These are being recorded now. Hopefully that will help a lot of people out. So, but we love for you to come to the meetings so that if anybody has questions or stuff like that, we love to have you here. So in the meantime, email any of us. All our contact information will be in the notes. Email any of us if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you guys June 14th.
Thanks, Kate.
All right, bye everybody.
Thank you.